Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here. Now the other day I did a big collection tour, showed off all of the action figures and varying other collectibles in my collection room. However, the one thing that I didn't show off, because I intend to show it off in this video because that video ran to 43 minutes long, is my autograph collection. So, in addition to collecting action figures and Funkos and some varying other things, I enjoy going to Comic Cons and meeting actors and getting autographs. So, I have accumulated a not insignificant amount. And I counted basically, it's like over 40. So I figured even if I just talk briefly about each one, it's going to be a half-hour video. So I decided to break that away from the other collection video. So this is all about the autographs. If you care more about the collection than the autographs, totally cool. That video is my other most recent posted video. So go check that out. Let's get into it. So the collection is largely in that cabinet, but because that has the absolute best stuff, we're going to work our way over there. So over here are some other not insignificant mentions. Let's go ahead and start in the Detolf. So I want to start with my very, very first autograph. This is what sent me down the path of thinking that this was a cool thing to do. So now some years I'm not strongly remembering, but I can pretty much tell you where every autograph was gotten. My 12th Dr. Sonic screwdriver was signed by Peter Capaldi at Florida SuperCon 2017. It was very shortly before I moved back to Ohio from Florida, so it was where I started the collection, and then I moved up here, and the rest of them have been gotten. Not necessarily in Ohio, but during my time living here. Very, very friendly guy. Still one of my absolute favorite people I've ever met. And I just want to show off. I do wish I'd have known about Paint Pen at the time. It's just in black Sharpie, and it came out really good. But he personalized it to me. All the best. Keep being cosmic. Kindest regards, Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who. And that was just a brilliant way to start. Looking at the rest of the things on the shelf, truthfully, not many autographs here. This is a sonic screwdriver held by Christopher Eccleston in a photo op. That's just a One Company prop replica remote sonic screwdriver, prop replica confession dial I 3D printed, and these are Sonics that I've picked up to be signed. Now, this Funko Pop is a Rose Tyler Funko Pop from Doctor Who. If we go on underneath, you'll see the pop. So I met her at a convention with David Tennant. It was Wizard World Cleveland 2018. Her, David Tennant, and John Barrowman were there. And her line was being rushed because the photo ops drug out way too long, and so she had like a half hour before her next photo op session was going to be, even though it was supposed to be a 2-hour session. So they were just rushing her through. She started writing on the top. I went to say, hey, can I get it, on the front, just so I can display it like all my other pops that you'll see later. And then the handler guy was like, no, you get what you get. She looked sad, but like they had the next thing in front of her already, so when I get the opportunity to meet her again at a convention someday, I'm going to bring the same pop and just see how it goes. So, I don't know. The Donna Noble action figure was gotten because Funko hasn't made a Donna Noble Funko yet. So I found that action figure on eBay. I got that signed at Steel City Con, would it have been December? Would have been like late November, early December of 2021. She's super friendly, loved meeting her. I have nothing bad to say there. Now this is going to tie in with a signed pop. This is a replica White Lotus token that I've 3D printed. I give them to every Avatar actor I meet, and then every Avatar cosplayer that I see at the conventions. I went to give one to Greg Baldwin, who voices Uncle Iroh. He asked if I had more, because he'd like me to initial one, and he'd sign one, and then we would trade. So he has one signed by me, and I have one signed by him. So he gave me a free autograph for gifting him a token, which was super cool. Not really, there's no really great way to display this. It's like, do I just have brown circle up with signature, and the signature helps, or do I just have token up? So I think I'm going to leave it token side up, just as a discussion piece. Working our way down the shelf. These are Star Trek Discovery, like, not Funkos, they're Titan vinyls. Steel City Con, it would have been 2019, or maybe later, 18. They had Anson Mount and Ethan Peck, who play Spock, and Spock's up top, and then Peck's down below. and they play Pike and Spock in, at the time, just Discovery, but they've actually since then gotten their Strange New Worlds show. So it's really cool that I basically have the main cast of a new Star Trek show before they were in the Star Trek show. So Peck was my first paint pen autograph. He wrote Fascinating, made it out to me and his character name. Mount wrote, be bold, be brave, be courageous, which is a brilliant Pike quote from Discovery. I adore that signature. That's one of my favorites. Over there is a replica Mego, modern Mego, James Murray from Impractical Jokers. Met him at Pensacon 2021. Super friendly guy, made it out to Jacob, and then he signed and wrote Murr, and that's, from his skydiving episode, which is a brilliant episode. Below there is a 3D printed Angel Blade, because there's no officially licensed replicas. Supernatural is a weird show to get autographs on, because if it's not Sam, Dean, Crowley, or Castiel, or Bobby, there's no Funko Pops. Actually, there might be a Charlie one. Anyway, I met Lucifer, Mark Pellegrino, and so he signed it there, and as Lucifer. And I just thought, man, an Angel Blade's at least a prop from the show. Not necessarily one that Lucifer has used, but, I needed something. So I didn't want to get a picture or a poster. So that does it for what's in here. There's just prop replicas and Legos down below. If we go up above, you get into some shadow boxes. So these are Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers I've had signed at varying cons. Actually, most of them Pensacon. Starting over here is my Peter Davison signature. He's the 5th Doctor Who. I met him at Pensacon 2019? Would have been 2019. And he's a really nice guy. They also had Colin Baker with him. Now, they've never made a 6th Doctor Sonic Lance, so I had that 3D printed. I took packaging from a 10th Doctor Sonic screwdriver, which fit the range, and I made a custom insert, which admittedly I probably should have gone bolder on the 6, but everything else actually worked out really nice, and I put a custom picture of Baker there. I mean, it looked really good. It actually threw him off a little bit. When I presented it to him to get signed, he's like, when did they make this? And I was like, they didn't, so I had to, and he thought it was super cool. So both of them are very, very friendly fellows. The next year, Pensacon 2020, they had Paul Mcgann. So I met Paul Mcgann, very friendly guy, one of my favorite classic Doctors. He really got screwed over. I wish that he had gotten more screen time than he did. I don't really count Big Finish as canon, just because they're always going to overwrite it if the TV show dictates, that they have a better story. So, I definitely need more visual Mcgann doctoring. This is a more recent edition. This was Motor City Con Spring 2022, Christopher Eccleston. And this is actually a little bit custom, too, because the 9th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver in that packaging, in this range, had a weird mint green, sort of pale blue color, which is just inaccurate to any version of the prop. People say, oh, the 11th Hour one that Matt Smith used kind of had a bluish tint. It was like a bluish gray, not a mint green blue. So I got another one of this Sonic, actually, and even though his was more of a cream than a gray, the gray looks better. So I swapped them in the packaging, and he paint-penned it out in blue. Very nice guy, very humble. Eccleston is amazing. I highly recommend meeting him should the chance come along. Now, that same convention I mentioned Barrowman and Piper at, I met David Tennant, and this was just the natural choice of what sonic screwdriver to get signed. They all had a weird sort of curved sort of package like that, or they were just in an open box with no window. The special edition Regeneration episode has a really big, mostly flat area where he did the signing there, and I really, really like how it turned out. The only thing I don't like is that they put the warning sticker under the plastic on top of Tennant's face instead of on Smith's. So I do wish the picture of Tennant was not covered like that, but it's a nitpicky thing. And he used a blue Sharpie, which actually kind of is semi-transparent, but in a blue color, and I really like that. This is a Tom Baker autograph. I got, not matching, but I got one for me and one for my mother, because he was her choice of doctor through a mail service, through a special event a few years back, and it worked out really nice. So, came out really, really nice. Hers features him holding a tub of jelly babies. None of his photo options were Doctor Who photos, but he did try to do whimsical Time Lord looking things. So he offered me, a Jelly Baby Jacob. He was he would do words, but it was only up to so many. So, I tried to do he was offering me one, and I think it turned out really good. So I do like how that turned out. So far, so good. We've gotten through the larger overflow area. I do have a little bit of an overflow area for Pop autographs on top of my Marvel Legends cabinet. There's a lot of Pops here. Only 4 of them are signed, and those are the ones that we're going to talk about. So, to the left is a Nick Castle Michael Myers autograph. He played Michael Myers in the very first Halloween, the one that got me started of being scared of the dark as a child. So, turned out really nice. That was at Pensacon 2022, and very nice guy. He had a nice orange paint pen, and the autograph just turned out good. I'm really satisfied with that. Jim Cummings, get the glare off of it. He's like a copper Sharpie. It looks pretty good. But he voices many, many Disney characters, and then Hondo Onaka in the Clone Wars on top of. I picked this pop-up at Comic-Con Erie in 2021, planning to get it signed by him at some point, and then he got announced for Sci-Fi Valley Con 2021, and I met several other voice actors there, but Jim Cummings was a natural choice. This pop you can only actually get at Disneyland or Disney World, the Disney parks in general, so it was cool to find it at a convention. It was like a $20 pop and worth every penny. Up here is my Luke Cage Jessica Jones series Funko Pop, because I never made Luke Cage series pops. Mike Coulter signed it at Wizard World Columbus 2018. Very nice guy. I had just started watching Luke Cage. It was about time for the second season to come out. Literally, it was a month or 2 weeks or something before the second season started. So I was going for Ray Park, and then they announced him, and I was like, you know what? If I can find a Luke Cage pop at the convention, I'll do it. A lot of vendors had Luke Cage pops at a crazy markup, and I was like, nah, not gonna do it. And then I found someone who obviously didn't realize the actor was going to be there, because it was an $8 pop. So I had to get it. He made it out to me, signed it. Mike Coulter, aka Luke Cage. I got him to write Sweet Christmas. I don't know. I liked that phrase that sort of shocked, oh, Sweet Christmas. I don't know. It vibed with me. I liked it. And I had to go with it. This Jason pop is my second most recent pickup at Fanboy Expo Columbus 2022. And this is signed by Kane Hodder, who played Jason in parts 6 through 10. Pretty nice guy, but he didn't really talk too terribly much, but I got it in a nice red paint pen, and I'm just happy with how it turned out. I do like Friday the 13th, so it was just a good addition. So that is a newer addition that I think probably not a top 10 autograph for me, but it's a good one. I'd like to say we're near the end, but truthfully, even though there's only one cabinet left, we're not halfway there. We're close to halfway. So this is my main autograph cabinet that is just full. There's no room for any more pops up top, which is why the pops had to overflow over there. I ran out of room for autographs in the main cabinet, so that's why they had to take the top 2 shelves over there, and honestly, they're probably going to spread to the bottom 2. Those things are going to have to find new homes. It is a rapidly growing collection. To start with this cabinet, let's do the pops. So up on the top left, this is a Kirito Funko Pop from Sword Art Online. I got signed at Fan Expo Cleveland in 2022, signed by Bryce Pappenbrook. Very friendly guy, crazy line. I'm shocked I was able to get in there at all, but it worked out, and I got his autograph in a blue paint pen. Really liked how it turned out. Next is a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 convention exclusive Yondu in the Mary Poppins pose. I had signed by Michael Rooker at at Pensacon 2022. Very nice guy. Kind of wish that it wasn't done in that copper. It's a little bit streaky. It's a good enough autograph, but definitely doesn't pop the way I'd like it to. So maybe get a redo somewhere down the line? I'm not sure. Over here is a Courage the Cowardly Dog pop signed by the voice actor Marty Grabstein, who voiced Courage in the show. This is actually my second go at an autograph with him. So he had a pink paint pen, and it turned out really good. The reason it's the second go is I met him initially, so this was signed at Pensacon 2022. I met him initially at Comic-Con Erie, which is where I got that Hondo pop in 2021, and this pop wasn't available yet, not even announced. It got announced like a month after. So at that convention, we're gonna detour, I got this photo signed, which I really like. You know, it's a good autograph. It's gonna be displayed in my office area, because now I have the pop. Here is the initial Greg Baldwin autograph I went for at Pensacon 2022. That's where I got my token signed by him. Came out really good. Delectable tea or deadly poison. Brilliant Iroh quote. Love that one. It's a good one. At Fan Expo Cleveland, I met Janet Varney, who plays Avatar Korra. She used a blue paint pen, made it out as I'm the Avatar and you gotta deal with it. Very nice lady. Highly recommend meeting her. She's very into meeting the fans. Over here is a Jessie Flower signed Toph Funko Pop from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I met her at the same convention as Jim Cummings, which was Sci-Fi Valley Con 2021. I like the green paint pen. The I'm not Toph, I'm Melon Lord quote came out really good. Next up is my signature from Jenny Kwan, who plays Suki, same convention as Toph. Are You Trying to Get on My Bad Side, signed by Suki. And it came out really good. Very sweet girl. These three tend to do conventions together a lot, and I highly recommend. I mean, they get along very well with each other, and it's just kind of fun watching them interact. They are definitely the life of the party at the convention. Over here is my Olivia Hack signed Ty Lee pop. Same convention as Toph and Suki. He had a pink paint pen, my aura's never been pinker, which is a good Ty Lee quote. Really like how that turned out. Here is my Grey Delisle signed Azula pop. She didn't have any paint pens on hand, and I forgot to pick some up, so I had to go with black Sharpie. It doesn't look bad. Might go for a redo with her someday, maybe with the alternative Azula pop. But I really like this pop, and it's a signature I've wanted in the collection for some time. So yeah, all in all, very happy with that. This is my most recent pickup. It was at the same convention with the Jason actor, signed by Cricket Lee. She played May. This was Fanboy Expo Columbus 2022. I used the purple paint pen. She said that no one had brought purple. They always bring a red or a silver or a black, and that purple's a brilliant color choice. I gave her the paint pen for that because I told her she should share that. And just a very nice lady. Highly recommend meeting her. Victory is boring is a great May quote. Getting down to the bottom row, here's my Matthew Lewis signed Neville Longbottom Funko Pop. I got this signed at Steel City Con April 2022. He had an orange paint, or not an orange, a yellow paint pen on hand, which turned out really good. He wrote, you know, all the best and signed it. Very nice guy. Crazy line to get to him, but just super friendly guy, and I'm very happy I got the opportunity to meet him. Next is my Jason Isaacs Lucius Malfoy pop. Now, let me tell you the story on this one. There's a little bit of a story. This was Steel City Con, would have been, 2020? It's like August? They announced him like 3 days to the convention. So there's no way to order a pop and have it show up on time in that amount of time. And I knew my local Walmart had Lucius Malfoy's stacked for some time. His pop kind of peg-warmed. So I spent a day driving to every store in like a 50-mile radius that sold pops, and none of them had Lucius Malfoy's. And I finally went home and I confided in a friend. I was like, man, I don't think I can get this autograph. I cannot find a Lucius Malfoy pop. And they're like, oh, check the buy, sell, trade, the used movie store across the street. And I went over there and they had it. And it was $15 and I got it. This is the one that I preferred to get, just the standard one. There is a Hot Topic one with him holding the prophecy. Is it the prophecy one? I think that was the Hot Topic. I think Hot Topic also had one in the mask. Didn't want the mask. The prophecy would have been okay, but the main one is like my preferred one. You know, I would have gone for any of the three, so getting my preferred one, like, is awesome. Here is my Dustin from Stranger Things Funko Pop, signed by Gaten Matarazzo at Motor City Con, like, fall 2021. Super nice kid. We talked about season 4, which I haven't started watching yet, so no spoilers in the comments below. But I figure if I meet any of the other 4 main boys, I'm going to get their Ghostbusters Pops signed, so I had to get his Ghostbuster outfit to start the potential collection there. And I'm just super happy with how it turned out. Up next is my River Songs Funko Pop signed by Alex Kingston at Pensacon 2020, the same time I met Paul Mcgann. And she is just the nicest lady, has a very good sense of humor. You can tell with playing River, you know, she didn't have to act very much. It just kind of came naturally to her. So, black Sharpie autograph. She was like, do you want Hello Sweetie or spoilers? I like spoilers more. Hello Sweetie's a great line, so she went with spoilers for mine. And it is just a great addition to the collection. Then we get to my Jack Harkness Funko Pop that I got signed at the same time I met Billy Piper and David Tennant in a very similar blue Sharpie to the David Tennant autograph. Jacob Lovett, John Barrowman, and around the side, he wrote Captain Jack Harkness. So anything that I have written around the side is going to have to be on the far right of the stack. So I do like how that turned out, and yeah, it is one of the favorites of the collection. Now, this cabinet basically has gotten taken over by Star Wars Black Series figures. Nothing wrong with that, though. There are definitely some grails for me within the walls of this cabinet. So, to the far left, Pensacon 2021, they had Ashley Eckstein. Ahsoka Tano is my favorite Star Wars character. I could not pass on the opportunity to meet her. The Walmart Clone Wars Black Series had just come out, so I found another one, and I brought that. I had her do the May the Force Be With You. Her line was crazy, but I knew it would be crazy, so as soon as the convention opened, I beelined right to where her table was. And it worked out really, really nice because I was like 20 people behind in line, and it took an hour to get to me because she talks with everyone because she's amazing. And when I was walking away, I walked away from a line that had grown to hundreds of people. So it was a very good game plan there to just get in her line. I knew getting Ashley Eckstein's line, anyone else I want to meet, you know, is worth meeting, but I can do that later on in the day. And no one else really had a line, so that worked out really good. Pensacon 2022 brought Matt Lanner, another Clone Wars favorite. Definitely, Clone Wars is what I grew up on as far as Star Wars material. I got into after Episode 3 had come out by some time. So Clone Wars was like, the movie came out in theaters the summer that I watched The Phantom Menace for the first time, which was my first Star Wars movie. I bought a VHS at a yard sale. And so Clone Wars is what I watched live. So the adventures of Anakin and Ahsoka were, you know, what I grew up on. That's my Star Wars. So I had to meet him in addition to her. And so I got his Target exclusive Black Series in the retro packaging. Also went with the May the Force Be With You. I got to get more creative going forward, but like, it's a good one. Blue paint pen, lighter blue than hers, but it's okay. I'm not mad. And his signature came out really good. Very cursive-y looking. Very happy with that. At Fan Expo Cleveland, they had Katie Sackhoff in 2022. And so I got her Black Series Bo-Katan Pop from The Mandalorian signed in a white, silvery white paint pen. Definitely a great addition for the collection. Very nice lady. Didn't talk very much because her line was nuts. But just very, very nice to finally gotten to meet Bo-Katan, who's been a... You know, I didn't necessarily like her too much in the Clone Wars. Didn't dislike her. Just thought, oh, Bo-Katan, who cares? But I've grown to like her more as her story has progressed. So definitely happy with that. Motor City Con Fall 2021. They had Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, who is a brilliant villain from The Mandalorian. I like how they finally took a Imperial officer, and instead of it being a bumbling klutz, you know, Admiral Piet or whatever, who underestimates the opponents, he's like, I'm going to use my brain and figure out what my enemies are going to do. Brilliant tactician type villain. I always loved them. Same reason that I like Thrawn is why I like Gideon. So I had to meet him, had his Black Series signed in a silver paint pen that he had. Long live the Empire is a brilliant quote. Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon. Going another layer down, Emily Swallow was at Pensacon 2021, same time I met Ashley Eckstein. And she is super nice. Highly recommend meeting her. I loved her in Supernatural, but let's be fair, the Armorer is cooler than the Darkness. I got it signed in a gold Sharpie to Jacob, "This is the way." Did not ask for that. She was actually charging extra for quotes, but we just got to talking a little bit because she had no line. So I walked up, and no one walked up during our time talking. So as we were talking, she just wrote down, "This is the way." And I was like, that is awesome. Going down a layer, you get to the Black Series Deluxe General Grievous. Signed by, what's his name? Matthew Wood. That's who voices him. I took a break to Google it, but then as I started typing, I was like, Matthew Wood, that's it. He was at Pensacon 2021. It was a year for Star Wars, I'm telling you. He was also charging extra for quotes, but we were talking, and so he just wrote, "You are a bold one," which is a good Grievous quote. So he definitely is a good ad for the collection. To the left is my Darth Maul autograph from Ray Park, "Feel the Force," which is a good, not necessarily a quote, but a good Star Wars-y saying. I met him at Wizard World Columbus 2018, same time I met Mike Coulter, and it came out really nice in a silver Sharpie. It must have been a new silver Sharpie because it's very bold and it just kind of catches the light nice. To the left, Steel City Con, would it have been spring of 2019? Or, no, it would have been later in the year. I think it was like August of 2018 or something. Or it might have been August. Or it might have been April. Anyway, Steel City Con in 2018. I met Ian McDiarmid, who plays the Emperor at Steel City Con. And I had that Black Series ordered just for that event. And he's just a super cool guy. And I'm glad I got to meet him. And this is well before any archive or throne issues. But that's fine. It's a good one. A newer pickup was at Motor City Con spring 2022, where I met Christopher Eccleston. They had Freddie Prinze Jr. I had him sign a Kanan Jarrus Black Series. Kanan, arguably one of my favorite Jedi. Top 5, potentially even top 3. And so I had to meet him, and so he didn't do any quotes or anything. Just Jake, Kanan, or Freddie Prinze Jr. Good autograph. I do like the blue paint pen, and I think it turned out nice. Going down a level, this would have been the November, December, winter Steel City Con 2021. They had Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge Antilles, and so I got his autograph. He used a blue Sharpie, and I do like the translucency of the blue Sharpie. It kind of looks lighter depending on what it's over. And yeah, I like that autograph a lot. Very nice guy. Do highly recommend meeting him. To the right, this was the same time I met Anson Mount and Ethan Peck at Steel City Con. They had Joonas Suotamo, who played Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy. Peter Mayhew played him in The Force Awakens. I believe he passed before The Last Jedi came out. And so he did Chewbacca for anything sitting down in the Millennium Falcon. But Joonas was cast to do any of the running around stuff. So I got a solo Chewbacca sign just to make the distinction between the two actors, because he did, Chewbacca for the entire movie and had the different bandoliers, so they made a different figure. I'm going to be honest, Chewbacca is not my favorite Star Wars character. He's okay. I liked him. But it's one of my more just favorite signatures, because he draws a little Chewbacca, and I love that. That's just adorable. It's a highlight of the collection. Then to the right is my Catherine Monroe Zuckus. She played Zuckus in The Empire Strikes Back. That was Pensacon 2019. It had to have been. Where I met Davison and Baker. So, in hindsight, not the most essential autograph. And it's something I've debated maybe letting go of at some point because it doesn't have my name on it or anything. So Zuckus was the last bounty hunter they needed to make to complete that Black Series bounty hunter collection. And it had just come out that week, and it was a Disney Store exclusive. And I flew to Florida for the Comic-Con, stopped at a Disney Store near the airport, saw the Black Series figure there. I wanted it for my collection. And then I was like, the actress will be at Comic-Con this weekend, so I bought a second one. So it was kind of a very impulse autograph ad, and there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm happy to have it, and she's a nice lady. But, yeah, not my... I mean, it's not the most essential autograph. It was just a cool one to put in the collection just because. Now, underneath, this was Steel City Con Spring 2020. They had William Shatner and Walter Koenig, who plays Captain Kirk and the original Ensign Chekhov, respectively. Shatner, you know, he had a big line. He wasn't very talkative. And there just wasn't a lot of discussion there. He just signed my Enterprise, and off I went. Koenig was very chatty. He just wanted to make sure I was having a good time. Just a very nice guy. I remember in my photo op with Koenig, they took the photo, and then I started to step away, and he's like, wait. And I was like, oh, what's up? And he waves to the photographer, and he's like, I'm pretty sure I blinked in the photo. And the photographer was like, you probably didn't, and if you did, he'll go and get his photo and come back through the line. And he's like, no, you're not going to waste his time. You're going to take the photo again. And I was like, oh, okay, like, way to go. Go to bat for your fans, my guy. And sure enough, I went to the photo pickup area, and there was 2 photos of us side by side, and in one of them, he had blinked. So, I mean, it was very cool that he called it out, instead of me getting out of the photo op area, seeing it, and then being like, oh, man, I got to go get in that line again. So they'll do a free retake. That's not a problem. But it was just cool that he called himself out on it instead of just letting things keep on going. So, I don't know. Very nice guy. That's just a small, fun story of sorts. Although, if you want a fun story, this next one's a doozy. These 2 things live in my office. So, the Star Trek The Next Generation poster was at my second ever Comic-Con. So, I'd probably mentioned that I moved back to Ohio in, like, summer of 2017 from Florida. And so, this would have been the Winter Steel City Con in 2017. And it was my second ever convention, the first one being where I met Capaldi. You know, I lived up here. It was getting to be winter months. I hadn't really made many friends yet. And I was like, you know, I've seen some episodes. I want to binge Star Trek The Next Generation. So I spent that winter going through the entirety of the show. It took like 2 months. I wasn't sitting down and doing like 5 episodes a night or something. It was just one here, one there. It took a few months. Anyway, I finally get hit by an ad on Facebook. And it's talking about this Steel City Con, which I'd never heard of, and they were scheduled to have Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, and Brent Spiner. Now, they had one of these big California fires like the week of the convention. Spiner tapped out. They were also going to have the Weasley twins. I got those autographs I got their pops signed by them for my at-the-time girlfriend, so they're not in my collection. Those are long gone at this point. But nothing went right this day. My sister was going to tag along with me. She was feeling kind of sick, but she still decided to go. We got in my truck. We made it 3/4 of the way to Pittsburgh, and my rear axle locked up, blew up, basically. The hydraulic oil inside of it caught fire, and I smothered it with my jacket, my only winter jacket. So now my winter Carhartt's all melty and burned up and stuff, but it's my only coat. I get towed back to my grandmother, who I was staying with at the time. I was a little bummed out, really wanted to do all this, this convention. She's like, you know what, I can tell you're bummed, borrow my car, go to Pittsburgh. I take off for Pittsburgh. I roll in at like 5 in the afternoon, because Pittsburgh's like a 2-hour drive. I didn't get moving until like 11, and so I got like an hour and a half into the drive, which was like 12:30 when the truck blew up, and it took me until about 3 to get like towed home. It was even after 5. It was probably even closer to 6. Well, my sister still tags along. We get there. I almost get in the line for Frakes. And she starts swaying. She looks like she's like drunk. And basically she'd been hit by like this fever to where like she basically was just dizzy. So I took her back to the car because I wasn't going to miss out. And I put her in the car and I was like, you hang out here. And I go in, and on the way back, I see this cool mini poster, which I actually can't really get framed because it's an oddball size, but it came with this plastic sleeve, which is all right. I go to Jonathan Frakes' table. He looks me up and down. And he's like, oh man, you look rough. Like, are you all right? He's like, I mean, and honestly, I did. And I was like, man, my truck caught on fire on the way here. It's not been a great day. And he's like, and you still came? And I was like, yeah, I wanted to meet you. And he's like, well, thanks for being such a dedicated fan, and shook my hand and signed to the Jonathan Frakes. Went in LeVar Burton's line, not as chatty. He was ready to go home. So he just did, Jacob piece, and then he signed there. My initial thought was I wanted to get this whole thing signed by the cast, but then I'm like, man, it's so small. They're going to get, like, so crowded. So, like, I think I'm going to restart my Next Generation collection and either do the Funkos, which are a little bit pricey, but for an autograph, I'll pay for it, or I might get a larger poster or something else. I'm not decided on what I'm going to do, but it's not going to be this poster. So this is just going to go in my office. But the story goes, so that was 2017. I went to Pensacon 2019, which is where I met Peter Davison and Colin Baker. And at the convention, I found that I had a lot of extra spending money that I didn't think I was going to have. And because I had to pay for a tow truck, I didn't get photo ops with either of these, or the Weasley twins. So I decided, you know what, Jonathan Frakes was there. I decided to get my mom an autograph as a Mother's Day present, and I got my photo with him. And so I got the photo, and then I went for his autograph. I went through his line. I asked him to make it out to Kate. He's like, you don't look like a Kate. So I tell him, hey, I met you like 2 years back, fall 2017, winter 2017 at Steel City Con. And he looks me up and down a little bit, and he squints a little, and he's like, are you the guy whose truck caught on fire? Which blew my mind that he remembered me, but I guess it's a memorable story. And I was like, yeah, that was me. And he's like, oh, that's, it's good to see you. How's the truck? And I was like, it's still a piece of shit, but it's my piece of shit. So we laughed about that a little bit, and that's just been one of my favorite Comic-Con stories ever since, is Jonathan Frakes knows who I am. To this man, I'm the guy whose truck caught on fire. And I'm completely okay with that legacy. So, there you go. That is the entire autograph side of the collection. Definitely going to be a long video, just as I suspected. So, this is definitely a great additional collection to just going with action figures and other collectibles. I very much enjoy every interaction I've had with everyone to some degree. Some of them, like the Billy Piper or the Jason Voorhees, autograph. Some of them get a little bit rushed, but everyone's been very nice, very friendly. If you've been debating going to Comic-Con, I say go for it. It's a good time. And you end up with some good stories. You end up with some really cool, unique items. No one else has a signed sonic screwdriver from Peter Capaldi with basically a paragraph worth of writing because he likes your cosplay and wants to talk about your 12th Doctor cosplay. And actually, I just locked eyes with another autograph, so maybe I should show this one off. This is Pensacon 2022. This is my Rob Paulson autographed poster of Carl Wheezer getting his croissant. Signed it in a silver paint pen. Hey, Jacob, don't forget to finish your croissant. Carl Wheezer, Rob Paulson. I actually can't believe that I overlooked that. So, anyway, that's the autograph collection. When I showed him that poster, he's like, oh, what do you got? As I'm pulling out a poster tube, I start unrolling it, and he's like, he got his croissant, and he points at it like you could tell he was slightly disturbed by it, but he was going to roll with it, and like, that's the way you do that. So, and to him, I'm the guy with the croissant poster. And I can't believe I just did it again. Sci-Fi Valley Con 2018, when I met, not 2018, 2020, when I met Mark Pellegrino, who plays Lucifer. They had Roger Bumpus, who played Squidward. So I got a Bold and Brash canvas signed. I swear that's it. I'm not doing this on purpose. So, anyway, a lot of very nice people, a lot of very nice stories to tell, a lot of super cool, unique collectibles. And yeah, Comic-Con is the place to go. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. Anyway, I'm going to go. I got to edit this video for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. Do you have any autographs? If you do, you should totally talk about them in the comments down below. Or if you have Comic-Con stories, or if you go but you haven't gotten any autographs yet, or, you know, just tell me, what are your experiences? Do you have any experiences with celebrities? I gotta tell you, I was very nervous the first few times, but they actually all ended up being very nice. So there's nothing to be nervous about. So I'm gonna go. I'll see you all in another video. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and I will catch you next time.